Every day, all around you, an extraordinary natural cycle is happening. It's called the water cycle. Most of the water that has ever existed on our planet is still here and is being moved from one place to another. It moves from the oceans and the land to the sky above us. It moves from one part of the world to another. It has done this for millions and millions of years. The rain that falls on you has been recycled many, many times over many millions of years. Water is the main source of life. More than two-thirds of the Earth's surface is covered with water, and that's a good thing because all living things need water to survive. About 97% of all the water on Earth is in the oceans. The rest of it is in lakes, rivers, streams, ponds, beneath the ground, or in its frozen state in the form of glaciers and polar ice. There is also water that you cannot see in the air around you. It's called water vapor. Therefore, water moves not only from place to place, but it can also exist in three states of matter. Water can be a liquid, water can be a solid, or water can be a gas. Oceans and rivers contain water in a liquid form. Glaciers and the ice that you put in your drinks contain water in a frozen solid form. And the air contains water as a gas called water vapor. The water cycle has three main phases: evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Water changes its form based on temperature and whether it is being heated or cooled. In the winter when it was cold, many people experienced days in which the snow fell from the sky. Snow covers the land and icicles hang down from roofs of houses. But then, as spring arrives and the weather becomes warmer, the snow and the ice melt into puddles. The puddles slowly disappear as the sunshine warms the water and causes it to evaporate. Through a process called evaporation, the warmth of the sun changes the liquid water into a gas known as water vapor. Water vapor is carried up into the air. The hotter it is, the more quickly evaporation occurs. Now, let's follow the water vapor as it rises higher and higher into the sky. As it rises up, it's blown about by the wind and it moves through the air or our atmosphere. In other words, water vapor may be carried by the wind far away from the place that it once was a puddle. Water vapor in air far below the clouds is called humidity. When there's a lot of water in the air, we say that it is humid. At different times of the year, there are different amounts of water in the air. Warm air can hold more water vapor than cold air. That is why on a hot summer day, If there is a lot of moisture in the air, you will often hear people talk about the humidity. Water vapor high in the atmosphere forms clouds as it becomes water droplets. The wind carries the water vapor higher and higher into the atmosphere, where the temperatures are much cooler. As the water vapor cools, it changes from a gas back into water droplets. The water droplets form clouds. When water changes from a gas back into a liquid, this process is called condensation. Because cold air cannot hold as much water vapor as hot air, condensation happens high up in the sky or the atmosphere. Condensation causes clouds to form. In other words, water vapor becomes water droplets. As the tiny water droplets are blown about by the wind, they crash into each other. They join together to form larger water droplets. As this bumping and crashing of water droplets continues, clouds are formed. Eventually, when water droplets and clouds become too large and too heavy, they fall out of the clouds and back down to the ground. Depending on the temperature high up in the atmosphere, the water droplets may fall as rain, sleet, snow, or hail. When water droplets fall to the ground, regardless of what they look like, this is called precipitation. So down comes the rain, or snow, or hail, or sleet. It waters the earth and falls into the oceans, lakes, rivers, streams, and ponds. Some of the precipitation seeps deep into the ground too. This groundwater nourishes plants. It also provides a source of fresh drinking water. Many people have wells that access the underground water supply. Once precipitation occurs, the process starts all over again. Water on Earth evaporates and rises up into the atmosphere as water vapor. As it cools or condenses, clouds form. This phase is called condensation. As the water droplets become heavy, they fall down to the earth, and this phase is called precipitation. The water collects again in oceans and streams and ponds and in groundwater, and the cycle starts all over again. Clouds are much more than fun shapes in the sky. Without clouds, there would not be precipitation, such as snow, sleet, rain, or hail. Without precipitation, nothing could live or grow on Earth. Clouds also provide a kind of shelter or protection from the sun. Without clouds, it would be very, very hot during the day and extremely cold at night. It would make it difficult for things to live or survive on Earth. Clouds help control the temperature of our planet. Scientists group clouds according to their shape and how high they are up in the sky. So when you look at these three different types of clouds, you can see that each looks very different from the other. Cirrus clouds form at very high altitudes in the atmosphere. They are wispy and almost feather-like in appearance, and they are usually a sign of good weather. These clouds can form up to 4 miles above the Earth. The temperature is very cold up at that high atmosphere, so cirrus clouds are mostly made up of large ice crystals. These are cumulus clouds. Cumulus clouds gather in the sky on nice sunny days. Cumulus clouds appear lower in the sky, although they're still about 2 miles above the ground. Cumulus clouds are round and fluffy looking. Some people think they look like cotton. They are a sign that the weather is going to get colder. However, when cumulus clouds get larger and darker, well, this can mean there will be a thunderstorm. These are stratus clouds, and it means you will probably need an umbrella because it is going to rain. They are usually gray, and they can cover the whole sky and block the sun. Stratus clouds form lower down in the atmosphere. The temperature affects whether the clouds contain ice crystals or water droplets. The clouds that are higher up in the colder reaches of the Earth's atmosphere are made up of sparkling ice crystals. The clouds that are lower down, where it is warmer, are made up of tiny water droplets. So the next time you're outside, look up at the clouds and think, what an amazing water cycle.